The depths of the Marsh King. Deep in the heart of the Blackwater Marsh, where the air was thick with mist and the waters mirrored the endless night sky, there lived a legendary alligator named Morith. His scales were as dark as the depths of the swamp, and his eyes burned with a fierce, amber light. The creatures of the marsh spoke of Morith in hushed tones, calling him the Marsh King, a figure of both fear and reverence. Morith was no ordinary alligator. He was the guardian of the Abyss Spring, a pool said to hold ancient secrets. Those brave enough to seek the spring often vanished, their fates a mystery. It was said that the spring revealed one's true self, stripping away all illusions, and only those who could embrace their shadow could return. One autumn night, as the moon cast a silvery glow over the marsh, a young traveler named Elric ventured into the swamp. He was a seeker, driven by an unshakable need to uncover the truth about himself and his purpose. For years he had wandered, feeling incomplete, as though a part of him lay hidden just out of reach. The stories of the Abyss Spring had drawn him here, and though fear gnawed at him, his determination burned brighter. As Elric stepped into the marsh, the air grew heavy, and the stillness pressed against his chest. He felt the unseen gaze of the Marsh King upon him, and soon the water rippled ahead. Morith emerged, his massive form cutting through the mist. His eyes glowed, locking onto Elric with an intensity that froze him in place. "Why have you come to my domain?" Morith's voice was low and deep, like the rumble of distant thunder. "I seek the Abyss Spring," Elric said, mustering his courage. "I need to know the truth about who I am." Morith regarded him silently for a long moment, his gaze piercing. "The spring does not give answers lightly," he said. "It reveals all that you hide from yourself. Are you prepared to face what lies beneath?" Elric nodded, though his heart raced. "I must." Morith sank back into the water, his amber eyes guiding Elric deeper into the swamp. The journey was treacherous, shadows twisted and danced, and whispers rose from the depths, echoing Elric's doubts and fears. But he pressed on, following the Marsh King until they reached a clearing where the Abyss Spring lay. The water was impossibly still, its surface reflecting the stars above and something darker below. Morith spoke. "Step into the spring. Look into its depths. But beware. What you see cannot be unseen." Elric hesitated, but the pull of the spring was irresistible. He knelt by the edge and peered into the water. At first, he saw only his reflection, but then it shifted, revealing flashes of his life. The anger he had buried, the mistakes he tried to forget, the potential he had ignored out of fear. The visions grew sharper, and soon the spring showed him a figure cloaked in shadow, a version of himself, but stronger, fiercer, and unafraid. "This is who you are," Morith said. "Both the light and the shadow. To deny one is to deny your true power. Can you embrace it?" Tears stung Elric's eyes as he realized how much he had suppressed. His ambition, his resilience, his hunger to shape his own destiny. He reached into the spring, and the water surged around him, pulling him under. For a moment, he felt as though he was drowning in the weight of his own soul. But then he surfaced, gasping for air. As he climbed out of the spring, Elric felt transformed. His fear was gone, replaced by a fierce clarity and strength. He met Morith's gaze, and the Marsh King dipped his head in approval. "You have faced the depths and emerged whole," Morith said. "Go now. Your truth will guide you." Elric left the marsh, no longer a seeker but a man who knew his power. He carried the wisdom of the Abyss Spring with him, unafraid to face the shadows within himself and the world. And in the Blackwater Marsh, the Marsh King watched from the depths, waiting for the next soul brave enough to seek the truth. Themes of the sun in Scorpio in the story. Transformation and rebirth. Elric's journey through the Abyss Spring mirrors Scorpio's theme of facing the depths and emerging transformed. Intensity and depth. The setting and Morith's presence reflect Scorpio's deep, mysterious energy and its connection to the hidden and the profound. Embracing the shadow. The spring's revelations symbolize Scorpio's focus on uncovering and integrating one's shadow self. Courage to face the unknown. Elric's bravery to confront his inner fears and doubts embodies Scorpio's unflinching determination. Magnetic power. Morith's commanding presence highlights Scorpio's natural intensity and ability to draw others into transformative experiences.